Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Deborah Cortez, and I'm an actress based in Los Angeles. I decided to open up space and room for people that are going through grief, my friends and family to begin with. Um, and then hopefully invite anyone that is seeing this channel, seeing the conversations, that wants to join and just have a conversation, a casual conversation with me, and where I'll be asking you some questions, and we get to talk about your loved ones who have passed. Now, the reason why I started these, as you may see on the background, back in October 2021, I lost my only child to a terrible, terrible, and tragic car accident. It was a solo car accident. He was on his way to his job. It was the first day at his new job. And unfortunately, that day he passed. Um, it's been almost 2 years now for me. Prior to that, for reasons unknown, and I understand life happens, he decided to stop talking to me. So I hadn't seen him for 3 years um, when he died. And I'm in the healing process where, unfortunately, you'll start to have the people that were there for you at the beginning fading away slowly. People that understood don't understand anymore. And it's understandable. They haven't gone through a loss like this. So there's no way for them to understand that this grief is forever. It's not a thing of 2 weeks, 6 months, 1 year. It doesn't exist. And also, this is the best way I have, one of the best ways that I have to honor my child, my son, Paul. He had a huge heart. He loved and cared for others. He went above and beyond to help others in need. And right now, I'm at a place where, I want to talk about him, and I want to continue to maintain his memory alive. And I decided to open up the space, and I imagine how many of you out there who have lost a loved one, whether it's a child, I don't know, a spouse, a sibling, um, needing to have this space to talk and perhaps not having it. So I want to thank you beforehand for tuning in. You'll start seeing videos that I'll be posting probably once a month. I'm not sure yet. This is very new. And yeah, I invite you to join me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Deborah Cortez. I have my beautiful sister here with me. This is my first video ever of what I hope is going to be a series of interviews or just casual conversations with some friends and loved ones of mine that have gone through grief and that have lost a loved one, just opening up the space to have these conversations, which I think are very important. Unfortunately, society and the world don't give us enough room for these. So I want to welcome you, Keisha. This is an amazing human being and artist, my sister. I love her so much. She's my first guest for these. So yeah, Keisha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Just, it's 108 degrees out here, so
Oh my
just trying
God.
to center
And summer just started. Oh my God. Oh my God.
officially.
Yeah. It's like 80s, I think, here in LA.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, I know. That's like nothing for you.
I'll take it.
Um, well, shall we get started then?
Hey, let's go.
Awesome. Well, okay, so let's see. My first question that I have here for you is tell me, first of all, about your loved one who passed, obviously.
So, the loved one that I lost was my near and dear sister because I'm one of four. I'm the
Mhm.
baby of four sisters, and I lost one of my oldest sisters in 2015.
Mm.
And I lost her to cervical cancer, cervical carcinoma to be exact. And it still hurts to this day, but she was such a beautiful force. That was my, I have a great relationship with all my sisters, but her we were like, two peas in a pot. That was my Lego piece. And we were just so much alike. We looked alike, even though she was, almost 4 years older than me. I looked up to her. She was just like my idol. And she was a very strong woman all the way to the end. It's very, it's
Yeah.
cathartic to see.
What was her name?
Dana Lynn Brooks.
Dana Lynn. Beautiful name. Beautiful name.
Thank you.
What is something that you want the world to know about Dana? You just kind of shared a little bit of how strong she was, but what else do you want to share Dana with us in the world?
She was a single mother. She had 4 boys, and she raised my nephews are outstanding. She raised good kids, and at an early age, they kind of knew what she was dealing with and that she possibly wasn't going to be around longer. So, but she never wanted them to see her at her weakest. Mm-hmm. So she was just so strong. She was the definition of strong. And, they always say, check on your strongest people or your strongest friends or family members. And I would check on her almost on a daily. And she's, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I don't need anything. And I'm like, you sure? I was like overly just like checking on her and just overly concerned. And she's like, Keisha, I'm okay. And I'm like, okay, I'll back off. So she was just so resilient in that way that she just didn't want anybody feeling sorry for her or like just trying to negotiate how she should be handling things. Like, you should be resting, you should be doing. She's like, nope, I got to keep on going until I can't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. So she was just resilient and just brave.
Amazing. And there are 4 kids of her who are still here, mm-hmm. representing her, of course, with her family. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. It sounds like even during her harder times and, when she was really going through such a horrible thing, she still cared for others, and she still wanted to make sure that everyone, that she was showing up for them in a way that she didn't want them to see her suffer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit of your healing process. I'm curious to know, it's almost going to be 10 years, but time, it doesn't really mean anything when you lose a loved one, someone who's really close to you. So I'm curious, how has your healing process been? Some things that you've done that has helped you, that you recommend others that are going through the same thing?
Right. So the healing process for everyone is different, of course. For myself, it was like twofold. I was going through the loss of a relationship, 23-year relationship, and then my sister died. So I had to figure out how to cope with both, but the loss was heavier with my sister because that was somebody that'll never be around anymore, someone I can't call and talk to because we talked almost every day. And the grief that I had to go through I just had to go through the emotions. I was angry and sad, of course, and disappointed as far as what happened on this spectrum. But on this spectrum, I had to just like gather myself and be like, my God, my sister is gone. I can't, and I won't be able to talk to her anymore, except for in prayers or, if I just say stuff to her, if I saw reminded me of her. I used to go to Catholic school and all these church and all this stuff growing up. So I was always taught that when someone passes, it's sad. And, you have a time for grief, you have a time for healing, but just know that God needed them more than we did.
Mhm.
And knowing that part is what kind of helped me get through the grief process.
Mhm.
Besides giving yourself time, because even now, even though it's been some time, it still seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I will never erase the images of her suffering in the hospital, or the nurse talking to my dad off to the side saying that there was nothing else they could do for her. And she's sitting there saying, I want to go home. I need to get out of here. And knowing that she's not going to go home. It's just the healing and the grief process for me was just trying to put my mindset in a place knowing that she's better off where she is. There's just no more suffering, no more pain, no more suffering. She's happy where she is. She's healthy, she's thriving.
Mhm.
We're the ones that are suffering here on earth still because we miss our loved ones, and we're the ones over here grieving about it. But I'm like, no, she wouldn't want me to grieve, because she was just a tough cookie. She would have like tapped me on my chin and be like, nope, don't do that, don't cry for me, you're going to be okay because I'm always here.
Mhm.
So the grieving part for me it wasn't easy, but it was transitional. I had to go through my phases, but they could have been worse.
Mhm.
But the my belief in my faith and the spirituality that I have, it's just I had to think about the positive side of her death versus, oh my God, she's gone, and that was the end of it. No, because that's not really the end of it
Right.
at
Right.
all.
Yeah. We're physical beings, right? So we cannot comprehend anything other than the physical
Yeah,
form of us. And our brains are such a powerful, what are our brains, organs, right? That they don't know what's real and what's not. So
yeah,
when you're thinking a lot of these, I'm not going to be seeing her, then that's when it becomes even hard. It's
yeah,
hard. I mean, it is. That's the reality. But thinking, they're they're doing okay, and they're where they are. It's such a beautiful place that we will get there at our own
absolutely.
time, right? But yeah, I think, it does make sense. And grief, it's such a journey that a lot of people think I know of the stages of grief, and they think it's like, okay, stage one, and then you're on it for a little bit, and then two, and then so on and on. But what they don't know is that it goes like that.
It's
You
like
may go,
wash, rinse, repeat.
yeah,
Wash, rinse, repeat. They think we go through these cycles and at the end of the cycle, that's it. You should be fine.
yeah,
No, it actually starts over, and
yeah,
it could go in reverse. So no,
yeah, exactly, exactly.
no.
Um, So I heard you mention, beliefs and spirituality. I was born and raised Catholic too. I don't practice it anymore. I'm a Buddhist now. So I'm more on the spiritual spectrum of religion, right? And I do believe that there are strong ways that our loved ones are always communicating with us. So I'm curious to know, how do you keep the connection with your loved one, and what signs do you receive from them from heaven?
I keep the connection with my loved one, besides the obvious, which are pictures or trinkets or just those memories that we actually have in front of us that we can reflect on and look at all the time. But I don't know how many people still do this, but I pray when I wake up and I pray before I go to bed. And in conjunction with the prayer, I talk to my sister. I tell her, hey, Dana, I hope you're doing well. I know you're watching over us, and I miss you, and I know you have my back, and it's just knowing that even though her physical is gone, but I know she's somewhere out there in the cosmos and she's soaring and she's just happy and I know she can hear me. And I know she can hear me. Before I moved to Las Vegas in California, there were a lot of signs where she showed her presence. And when I would tell my dad and stuff, he'd be like, yeah, that was her. All of a sudden I see like this one all black butterfly would just follow me when I take walks with my dog. It was just me and my dog. And I'd watch, I'd be like, oh, the butterfly's going to go away. Nope. The whole walk, there's a black butterfly just coming. And I'm like, hi, Dana. I would just say hi. One night I'm walking with my dog at night. There's this white owl. out of nowhere, a white owl. And I'm like, this isn't a Harry Potter scene. So what's going on? The owl just comes and it's just flapping its wings just in midair, just looking at me. And I'm like, hi, Dana. And then it goes away. You know, it was just little things like that. Cause you just, you know, it's like there's an energy you feel, or, you know, there's a presence around you. You just, it's this overwhelming kind of euphoric feeling like you're safe. Like, you know, someone is there with you, you know, someone is guiding you or watching over you. It's a feeling that I can't describe. And it almost makes your hairs raise up, you know? So, and it's not the type of hair raise where it's fear. It's like peace and love. It's like this warm sensation, like God, you know, and sometimes you feel like you want to cry because that person is so close to you in some way, shape, or form, and you know it. You just can't see it. So even out here, as hot as it is out here in the desert, I still get occasional butterflies that come around, and particularly in my back area here on my patio, or just on a bush, like right out front my outside my door. And I'm like, hey, what you doing here? Hi, Dana. You know, because those aren't, you don't see too many butterflies out here in the heat. So it's, I know she's still there. So it's beautiful.
Absolutely. I think, you know, in my case, you know, with my son, whenever I get those signs, I'm just like, okay, he's on a break. Whatever he's doing in heaven, he's
Yep.
taking a break. He's visiting mama, you know, and
Yep.
say, hey, Paul, you know, all cool, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
amazing. Um, I guess, you know, the next thing that I'd like to ask you, you might have already shared with us, but I'm curious to know. I know that every experience that we go through life
Mhm.
teaches us something,
Yep.
and you know, grief and losing a loved one definitely has taught me a lot of things. But what has it taught you? Something that it was like a big aha moment that has changed you forever, and therefore you've changed the way you see life and that you go about life.
With her passing, I always just had this mindset of just, when you, like, when you die, you can't take your money with you, you know? So do what you want with it now, or try to help somebody with it now, or you don't know when your last day on earth is. So do the right thing by every person you're in contact with, and just try to be that good person. But with her passing, it just reiterated more that you just don't know when your time is coming. And it's like, I'm not afraid of death. We all have to die one day. And the word die sounds so brutal, and but it's like, we're just, our bodies are just vessels. It's our soul, and that's what counts. So her passing just, it just made it more clear that I have to be living in my truth and my happiness. And I know I'm going to die, but it's the way that people die, which is, you know, you don't want to get killed. You don't want to die by anybody else's hands. That's the horrible thing. But if you're okay with it, knowing that you're not going to be here forever, make the most of your life while you are here. Like, blaze that path of just kindness and truthfulness. And as long as you're happy and you're not hurting anyone, just know that when your day does come, it's going to be very, I always say, hopefully I'll have a peaceful transition. And that's going to be part in because I was a good person while I was still here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I truly believe in karma and the energy and things like that. So it's like, if you treat others bad, I think that's where the suffering comes in. But if you treat everybody like you want to be treated and respected, and just be kind to people, no matter how shitty they are to you. I'm sorry for cursing, but
Oh no, please. This is an open forum. You can say fuck if you want.
I think, I think that's the key. Like, and as many people I saw treated her like shit while she was sick and didn't help her.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, wow, I wonder how you're feeling over there.
Mm.
Or, you know, are you living your truth, or are you actually happy? You know, but I think all those things are like tied in. And she was just the epitome of just making sure that I live in my truth, regardless of what happens around me or how people treat me. I know I won't treat you like that because I'm not like that person, or I just can't. So it just drilled in here even more to just be a kind person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you are. You know, you have your own also production company, Helping Hands.
Yes.
You have a beautiful heart, and I'm sure that Dana is very proud of you. I'm sure she's smiling down on you right now. She's probably sitting right there
I
next
know
to
she's
you.
probably over here like, say some more.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But it's true, until we experience something like this, we just go through life thinking we're here forever and nothing's going to affect us. What, my sister's not going to have cancer? She's not going to die of cancer. Like, no, like that's for my neighbor, right? Or that's for the movies, but it does happen. And that's when you realize life is so fragile.
Yeah,
And we're here today, right now, this moment you and I are talking. I don't know what's going to happen in the next minute.
absolutely.
Let's live life and like in your truth, like you're saying. Beautiful. And I guess my last question for you
Yes.
is, what question do you have for me?
What questions do I have for you? Okay. How have you been coping, or what coping methods have you found or, incorporated in your life since the passing of your son?
Mhm. I feel like, it's going to be almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
It still feels like yesterday. At the same time, it feels like an eternity, right? And I feel like I've tried everything. And, I've done therapy. I'm back on therapy again. I've done chiropractic therapy with the
Hmm.
program that it's called NET. I forgot what it stands for. It's like a neuro something. All the pain and suffering that you go through gets trapped into your body, so it helps you release it. Um, a lot of things came out. Just honestly, I think the biggest one for me has been just throwing myself into my feelings. If one day I wake up and I'm really, really sad and even breathing hurts, I stay in bed and I'm like, you know what? This is going to pass. I need
Yeah.
to feel these sometimes. And again, everyone has a different way of coping. Everyone finds what works for them the best. There's no judgment here. In my experience, I find that if I just throw myself into it, it helps me get it out of my body so I can have room for other things, right? And I know now, before I didn't, but now I know that it's going to pass and I'm going to have good days. And when I have those good days, I'll enjoy the good days. When you grieve and you give yourself to it, you are opening up room for joy. And then you experience joy in a much deeper way.
Yep.
When you laugh, you're laughing, you know. Um, my son loved French fries, so potatoes was his thing. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm just like eating French fries, it's like, okay, this is my body telling me we need comfort.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't, drink, grieving is exhausting. So sometimes I'll do here and there things that is just going to help my body. Like, okay, I need to sleep and I'm just going to sleep because I can't do it myself. Right. And I'm grateful to have people like you and my husband that are next to me, my family, that have given me the space to just let me be with these grief.
Yeah. You have to. And I'll never forget that phone call.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day I called you and you were telling me it happened. I'll never forget that. And just people don't understand, who may be watching this, or the people who have experienced something similar, or just, everybody has their different stories of loss, but there was nothing more heartbreaking than hearing a friend cry over a loved one that they lost, especially their child. It's a different type of cry. It's just you. I felt the pain through that phone call with you,
Yeah.
and I don't want anybody to ever feel that pain.
Yeah.
But On the other hand, I don't want people telling you or anybody else how to grieve, when to stop grieving, or you should be over it by now. No, absolutely not. And that's the thing. You are brave for doing this, first and foremost. This is an absolute wonderful way to just enlighten yourself and just make things a little lighter day by day, because this is part of the process still. It seems like a lifetime. 2 years seems long, but it's actually not. It's just like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So this process can continue for the next 10 years for all we know.
Yeah.
It just, each time you will feel a little lighter. The pain will never go away per se, but you'll feel a little lighter and you'll feel like you're able to move on with your life and, just daily things. And there's sometimes I didn't want to get out of bed, or I didn't want to answer the phone. And we go through our depression. I didn't want to eat. My sister just passed. And if nobody knows the relationship I had with my sister, they will never understand. Oh, I'm sorry to hear, I'm sorry about your loss. And that's it. But loss is heavy. It's a heavy thing. And by you doing this, it's beautiful, because it's going to carry you to the next level in your life, to where you're just a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
It won't be such a burden to carry.
Yeah, it's, you're saying that, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's like going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, and at the beginning, all you can do is lift a 5-pound weight,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you just lift the 5-pound weight, and then
Yeah.
you go at it, and then all of a sudden you feel like, oh, the 5 pound is no longer heavy.
Yeah.
By the 10.
Yeah.
And then, it's sort of like that. It won't go away. It's still going to be with you forever, but then it transforms you and it becomes lighter. You learn how to live with it and
Yeah.
move forward with it, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm doing this also because I'm at a point where, and this is understandable, nobody that has ever lost a loved one so close to them knows what it's like. So the expectations, oh, it's been 6 months, you should be okay. Like, I get it, I understand it, right? It's like I didn't know what this felt like until I'm in these shoes right now. I don't wish, like you, I don't want anybody to go through these, right?
Yeah.
It's such a natural thing for a mother or a parent to lose their child. That's not the way nature goes, right?
Right.
But they don't know. They don't, and I'm like, if you don't know, consider yourself lucky. You don't know. And I get they're well meaning.
Yeah.
But people will fade away, and the people that were there for you, they'll move on with their lives. And then you're here wanting to talk about these things. And who are you going to talk about them with, or about these things with, right? And that's when I'm like, that's where I was like, it was just this voice, and it's a way for me to honor my son too. He had such a great heart, and he was always helping others. And I'm like, how can I'm still here. There is a reason why. And it's I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna open up the space, and whoever's watching, I don't care if you don't know me, honestly. I don't care if you don't know Keisha. We're both on Instagram, we're both on Facebook, we're on social media. Reach out to us. I don't care if you're a stranger, but you want to talk to me about your loved one. Do it. Do it, because we need it. And that's how it helps us continue to
Absolutely.
move forward and keep our loved ones' spirits alive. They
Yeah.
were here, they existed, and yes, they moved on to a different realm, but yeah, that's how we keep them. It helps us as well, helping others. And yeah. So I want to thank you so much. I don't have paid Zoom. I have the free one, and I'm getting the notification of like, you're running out of time.
I have the free one too. We're good.
This was beautiful. I really appreciate you saying yes to me, and coming on and talking about your sister Dana. This is gonna be here forever, and she will be forever remembered.
Of course.
So
anytime.
brave with me, and I will be, for everyone that's seen out there, I will be putting on the comments, Keisha's Instagram or social media, my social media. I mentioned a chiropractor practice that I did, so I'll put that also on the comments below, if it helps you. And yeah, please, on your comments, if you like these and you want to come on and talk with me about your loved one, let me know. I'll be happy to have you over. Okay, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay cool, stay hydrated.
Ooh, I will.
All right, bye bye.
Bye, my sister. Love you.
Love you too.